Hello crafters, I'm Jan B and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this birthday card. It's something a little bit different. This is vellum on here, but I've made it so that it stands up like this. Made this as a window so you can stand a little night light, battery operated tea light in it. Now I'm going to turn a couple of the lights out here. You're not going to get a brilliant view, but you will see a bit better than if I left the lights on. The tea light is nearly dying, which is why it's not particularly bright, but you can see the effect of it. It looks absolutely superb when you've got a new one going in there. Obviously I've been playing with this quite a bit, so it's wearing out somewhat. But this one I've put the happy birthday on, but I made another one here. Let me just turn that off. And I made another one here, the same, but I didn't put the happy birthday on. But because I got this on as happy birthday, I'm allowed to call it a birthday card. Otherwise I didn't know what to say that it is. But excuse me. Right, okay, so this one is, I've done that in soft blue, which is now, no, soft sky, which is now retired. And this one is blushing bride. And the one I'm going to do now is pool party. So the card pieces that you're going to need to start off with. This measures 4¼ inches by 12 inches, which is 10.8 by 30.4 centimetres. And then you'll need one piece that's about 1/16 of an inch wide by 2½ inches. I haven't actually checked my length there. And you will also need some scraps for the leaves and scraps for the flowers. And then from our Graceful Glass designer vellum, you need one sheet of what I call the brick design, and that should measure 4¼ inches by 4�7/8 inches, which is 10.8 by 12.4 centimetres. And you also need, this is the sheet that I've used. You could use any of the designs that are available. I've obviously coloured mine beforehand because it takes quite a lot to colour this. It took me probably the best part of an hour. You could also use it plain if you didn't want to go to all of this. I think it would look equally as nice, but the choice is yours. I do mine painted so that you can at least see what that looks like. And I think that's probably it as far as card pieces is concerned. So the first thing we're going to do is, with our large piece, we are going to do the scoring. Now on this I prefer to use my scoreboard, but you can use your trimmer if that's what you're happiest with. And let me just get my wax paper. I think I've had my score tool for so long now I've worn it out. So it struggles sometimes to get across the cardstock. Right, the lines that you're going to score at, I will tell you in English first, I will tell you in inches first, and then I will tell you in metric, and then I'll actually do it in inches. So it's 1/2 inch, 1�3/8 inches, 2¼ inches, 7⅛ inches, or 1.2 centimetres, 3.5 centimetres, 5.8 centimetres, 18.1 centimetres. So in inches, it's 1/2 inch, 1�3/8 inches, 2¼ inches, and 7⅛ inches. So that's all we need the scoreboard for. So this is a panel we're working on in the middle, not the big piece on its own, not these little bits down here. this centre one. Now this piece should fit on there perfectly. Yep, I think so. Now we're going to adhere this onto here using Tombow, and you have to be careful, otherwise Tombow is visible. So what I do is, she says giving the bottle a shake, I just, turn it over. You want the matte side. The shiny side is the front sheet. Okay, before I go on, two things I wanted to say to you about when you're colouring. I prefer to use marker pens, and what I've started doing, nearly done all of it now, is I took one of these designs and I'm doing all of the colours so I can see what they come out like on here, because this paper, the design of Vellum, is going to be around for a year now, so I'm going to be doing lots of it. The whole design, they are beautiful. So I thought I might as well do one of these for my reference. So and I might also do one for the Stampin' blends when they're back when that we can order them. And the other thing, if you're using marker pens, any kind of colouring, you always do it from the back, which is where this is the match look, not the shiny look. I find that it takes longer for the marker pens to dry than it does the Stampin' blends. So what I do is, once I've done, because I do one colour at a time and then I go back, which means once I've done these leaves, I'm back up here, so I just put a kitchen roll over it just to colour it, and then if this is damp, it will be soaked up there rather than spreading it. I have done that previously. I can't remember which job it was, but there was one where I had, it was the bookmarkers, I think. So that was what I wanted to say to that. This we're going to put on here with the dull side up. And what I'm going to do is, I'm trying to do just a tiny little dot everywhere where two lines join together. If there's any area where I finish up, there's a big space without any dots. For here, for example, there's nothing here and here. Am I in camera? Just about. Like here and here, there's only that there at the end, so I will need a couple of extras. And the other thing that I need for doing this is I need a scrap of paper. Why did I say I wanted a scrap of paper for this bit? Don't know, it'll come back to me. This is the second take for this video. I got right to the end of the first one and I ran out of memory. I was not a happy bunny. Right, so just when you can see the glue coming out, just do a little dab on all those points where you've got two lines joining. It does mean that in places you'll have some dots quite closely, like those four there, but that's okay. If you make any big dots with the Tombow, they will be visible through on your work. But if it's only one or two, they don't really notice. I can't talk and concentrate at the same time. Now these look as if they are quite big. They're certainly coming out bigger than I like them to be. But I'm not going to worry unduly about it, because quite a chunk of this is going to be cut out for the window, and other parts are going to be hidden by the leaves. There we go, I think that's probably about it. I don't think I'll worry about that. No, I think that's okay. So I am going to, very carefully, pop this on here without moving it about, because if I move it, then I will be smudging the Tombow. Now I've moved that a lot more than I would like to. Now I'm going to move this to one side for the time being, just to give it a chance to dry, and then I will come back and set this up for the die cutting. In fact, this scrap paper was for the next bit, not this. So the dies I'm going to be doing is, I need 3 of these. I've already done 2, and that die is from the Botanical Tags Thinlits, and that's that one. I'll be doing that. This is absolutely fabulous. That one there, look how that die cuts, all the leaves and the birds, just absolutely gorgeous. That's nice as well with the rose. I'm not so struck with that one, but then I'm not a geometric type person. But that, I love it. Absolutely love it, love it, love it. Right, and then this one, for my flowers, I'm using the sliding door framelits, and I'm just using this one, tiny one. There are 3 in here, 3 different sizes, so I'm using the tiny one. The stamp that I've been using is this one, which is from the Pop of Petals, and I'm using that little one there. And the way I've stamped it, as you can see, not much of it. So what I've done is I've used my Petal Pink marker pen. I've just coloured over the centre bit. Stamped down. And then die cut that little bit. So those 2 are ready for the big shot. Let me just get this bit back now. So to decide where we are going to cut our window, I have a 2.5 by 3 inch template, which is the bottom half of my window. This bit here. This is all cut out as one, and I put the bar in afterwards. I'll show you why I do that. And I kept one of these die cuts so that I could just pop it on like that and decide where I felt I wanted it. I want to leave a little bit of a gap up there and a gap down there, approximately the same, and just coming in a little way there. So that's about right. I'm happy with that. If you don't have one of these, just use the die, which is from the stained glass. It's this one here. Okay, so that's what this one die cuts as. These are all the other ones. You could just sit it like that to work it out. So what I do is, with the aid of some post-it notes, let's bring these back. Oh, and also my new toy, my tea ruler, I think they call it. So what I'm going to do is line that up the right way, up that way, and I want this to come up about 1/2 inch, I suppose. So I make sure that that's lined up against that edge, and therefore I know this is a straight line. So I could pop that on there, and without allowing it to move, I'm going to anchor it down. like that. Then I'm going to position this on top and make sure that that is right at the edges. Now, I don't know whether you can see it from where you are, but these are coming over the edge just an absolute tad. And when they get die cut, it will mean that there's two like little bumps on the window frame. And to conceal the window frame, we're going to put the bar across it from bump to bump so it doesn't get seen. So that's ready to be die cut, but I want to remove this. But before I remove it, I want to draw a pencil line around the edge, because we need to cut this one out. Okay. Let me just put a couple more pieces on there. I wouldn't normally take 3, but since how I've got 3 lying around, I might as well use them. Whoops. Let's clear a space. Right, the big shot. So let's do the 2 little pieces first. And you will find that this little flower die does like jumping around. So just move your cardstock to catch up with it. And then this one normally behaves itself. There we go. I have already done all the flowers and the rest of the greenery, but as you know, I do like to do one of everything with you. Okay, so that's the little flower there. Let's just pop that away, because that's the kind of thing that is so easy to lose. And there we go, that comes out quite easily. That can sit on there. Now this one, now I'm not going to be keeping the die cut from here. If you want to keep it, then you're going to have to run this through your big shot 2 or 3 times, because you've got 2 layers there that you're asking the die to cut, which it does from this point of view. It takes that one out, but it doesn't die cut all the little bits and pieces in there. Okay, so the window comes out nicely, okay, but you won't find all those little bits do. Let's see, it's getting stuck there. So I will clear that up afterwards. Put these back. Right, now it's just a question of putting everything together. First of all, we need to cut this down to size. No, we don't. We need to cut this first. We need our trimmer to cut this. You could cut it freehand if you wanted, but whoops, we do this beautiful trimmer. They're not expensive and they do make life so much easier. Right, when you're doing this, you need to cut approximately on your pencil marks, but more importantly, make sure that you're cutting from that line there down. You're going to finish up with a bump there, whatever you do, but we don't worry about that because we've got a plan to get rid of it. So, if you put that in, okay, so you want it in there in the cutting groove, okay, like that. And I just make sure that if my paper piercer is in there and that doesn't come any further over this way. And also what I try and do is I try and cut a bit short there and a bit short there, rather than going over too far, because those last little bits I don't mind cutting with my paper snips. Okay, and if you want to just check where you are, just push that down and it'll give you a little hole to show you where you are. Right, that should be falling short. Now move it over and do the same on this side as well. So again, put my paper piercer in there. Make sure that that is lining up. That is lining up straight there. Okay, and that is, of course, I'm looking at the little screen in front of me, but you get a better view than that. Right, can you see that bit? No, you can't. Let's move that up a bit. Yes, now you can. Okay, so you can see top and bottom now. You can see where I've lined up here and where that's where the cutting blade is going to go. Right. Now I'm going to be coming down to my pencil mark. Can you see me? Yep. Coming down to my pencil mark there, and I'm going to cut a little bit short. There we go. And then the last one is to cut from there to there. So I'm just going to view that through here. And right, where am I going to cut from? About there across to there. Now that I think is going to be short, so that I need to cut. Oh, I did those two okay. So I'll put that down there. I might need that again. Right, now can you see those two bumps there? I think, yeah, you can see it on the left hand side perfectly okay. I think you can see it there. This one's, the right hand side's a bit disguised because it's right on a black line. Right, okay, so I just need to cut this now. I think I've got to come down just an absolute tad on there, and then maybe a tad more. No, okay, I'm going to go from the inside. And this one should be easier. And I've got to come down a bit as well. These paper snips are brilliant because they cut right to the end of the blade, right to the point. So it's so easy to get this lined up so you don't go over. There we go. Right, let me see. I don't know whether that's easy for you to see or not, but never mind. trust me, the bumps are there. So before I go on, I'm just going to remove my pencil marks. Because I cut well inside those pencil marks. But it's a window, so it doesn't matter. It just means that the window will be a bit smaller than I thought it was going to be. But what will happen is that it's going to be fitting over there. So if I've cut this in a bit, it just means that I'm losing off some of the leaves here, which isn't the end of the world. So what I need to do is decide how much of this I've got to cut off so that it's going to fit here. So the first thing I'm looking at is this black line here is going to be sitting on the bottom of my window there. So if I line that up, move it over slightly so that I can see where my score line is, and I'm going to draw a pencil mark on there. So I need to cut off across there. Move this back so that the two sides are fitting in. That is sitting on there as well. So at the top I need the score line again, which is just about there. Okay, so I'm going to cut across there, and down. Doesn't really matter where I do here. Let's go towards that black line, I think. I'm doing it long because if I cut that off first and then that one off first, that will disappear. So I'm going to do this with my trimmer. Although you don't actually see the inside of this, I like to think that it will still look tidy if somebody did have a peep to see what the inside was like. Okay, so that's my first line there. In fact, I'll cut this one off first so that I'm not shortening the one that I haven't coloured yet. Just in case I decide to do something with that where I want the full length. Right, so that still leaves that pencil mark there. So there's that one. And then there's my pencil mark on that one. Right, that was easy. Now I'm going to adhere this inside by using red sticky strip. Unfortunately we don't sell it anymore, but for jobs like this it is my favourite. Right, okay. Now what I was looking at there was to see if I've got room to put this on all sides, and it looks as if I'm going to have a bit of a problem up there. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet with that. So first of all I'm going to do across here. The thing is, this varies from card to card because I'm not actually giving measurements. It really depends on how low this is or how high it is, how far it is this side, that side. Now what might happen here is I may finish up with some of the red sticky strip exposed, in which case what I would normally do is, if I can't remove it, literally remove it, I would use my embossing buddy on it to stop it being sticky. Right, what I think I'm going to do here, I'm just going to take a couple of very small pieces and just put them across there. then I'm not going to worry about at the top there. Okay, so what I will do is, let's see if the shiny side goes to the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one off first, and then if I line this up, no, it's better to do it this way, isn't it, I think. Yes, because then I can line that up and just let that go. This is a bit like what I do on my layers on my cards nowadays. Right, and don't forget you need your glass to pop your red bits in. I'm just going to fold a little bit of this down. I'm not going to strip it right the way off. Right. It's not cooperative as the tear and tape, is it? Let's see if I can just weight that down. Shiny side forward. Now I'm going to line that line up with that, and then make sure these are going up straight. Once I'm happy, I'm going to let that fall down onto the sticky. Alright, I think that should be good to go. I've got some sticky exposed there, but that's okay, it's something I can deal with. There we go. So turn it over, and there we go. Looks lovely, doesn't it? Really pleased. Right, now the very thin piece of cardstock, oh here we go, that one, it's going to go just above that bumpy bit and just over to that bumpy bit. As I say, I haven't cut mine off yet. Let's see if I can just mark it with a... Oh, that's clever. Oh, there it is. Alright, just snip that off. And snip it another tad off. If you need to trim like this, it is much better just to do tiny bits at a time. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to push that down with my paper piercer. Right, now this is the kind of thing I may need my scrap paper for. I'm going to use my Silicone Matte Tombow. Now if I do too much like that, definitely too much, then I will blot it on this bit of paper. Tweezers, there we go. Right, pop that one in there, straight across to the other one, just push that down there. That's it. Okay, so that's that bit done. Next we need we're going to put the greenery on here, and then we'll do the flowers as well. No, I don't want 4. A silicone matte again. As you can see on that one, I did do a bit of stamping, but decided against it. Right, let's get my sticky sheet here. And all I do for this is I just try a little bit of Tombow on all of the leaves. Now what happens with this is if I put the end, the bottom stalk, where you'd think it was probably logical to do, like down there, then it goes in the wrong direction. So what I do is I will put it off to the side like that, get this to adhere down, and then I will manipulate that as well. I don't want this to go over because this just about fits into our envelope, although it's too short. But I'll show you that once I finish my card. Right, I didn't put too much on this one, so that was the result. I'll put that right down at the bottom, get that bit done, and then ease it round. And then ease that bit round. Then I've got those two just hanging there, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to do something similar with this next one. Except I don't think on this next one I actually do the curving. I'll know once I get there. Like, this is coming out quicker. Too quick for me. I'll give that a quick stamp off. Right, so that's going straight. Get these to adhere down first. Hold these up. And then manipulate them where you want them to go. Now the next one, I cut this short. I don't have all of it. And what I do is, where there's these two here, and that single one, I cut on that straight line across there. You could use the whole lot if you wanted to. What did I say? Where are the two? Oh, that one there. Or an idea that I did play with was to have two. Hold on, we've got one here. And I did think about trimming bits off so that I could have another one up there like that. But in the end I decided against it. I thought it was getting a bit too fussy because there's a lot going on inside there. I didn't want too much on the outside as well. So again, just Tombow on the leaves. A quick blot. And then pop this on. Okay, so that's all that adhered down nicely. Don't think I need that one again. So now I'm going to pop my flowers on, and these ones I've already put my dimensional on. And what I did was, to get these little square bits, I cut the edge of the mini dimensionals and then I cut these small squares. If you decided you wanted to do the happy birthday, I did the greenery and the flower, no, the greenery first, then put the happy birthday in, and then decided where I was going to put my flowers. So let's put that one up there. Okay, so I think that's everything done then, isn't it? So we can now actually put our card together. Let's get rid of these little bits. Right, you'll need your bone folder. So the first one you fold that way and then give it a good crease. My vellum has actually come over the top of mine, which I will try and cut off with my guillotine. I won't do it by hand, otherwise that might finish up as quite uneven. Right, now this one needs to go in. This one needs to come out. And this one needs to go in. And then I'm going to put some red sticky strip on there. I'm going to put it close to the actual score line, but not right on top of it. And then once you've taken the red backing off, you should find that one. If you fold this one in the opposite direction, fold it over like that, you should find that that will fold on top of it. Okay, so pop that back again, and there you have your card. So how about that? That's quite easy really, wasn't it? This is the only bit that I found was a bit tricky, making sure that the cut lines were in the right place. I did think about putting something on the ends here, just to conceal that little bit, but I couldn't think of anything that would look natural to be there. So the jury's still out on that. In fact, what I did forget was I forgot to sort out that sticky bit down there. Let me just do that. I'll show you what I would do with that. Right, this is, I've got two embossing buddies. This is the old one, and this is the not so old one. And what I do is I just go over that with the, make sure the powder comes out, and then there we go. That can now fold down. And the only other thing I wanted to show you was, this is one of our envelopes, and if you close it like that, it fits in like that with that amount of gap. You've got two options. One, you can make an envelope with your envelope punch board so it fits better, or you can pop it in the envelope with that bit opened up, which is, you know, that's not bad, all right, because you've got a thickness there, so you need that bit of length. But the choice is yours. I hope you've enjoyed today's project. I've certainly enjoyed making it. There's that one, and this one. In fact, you could use this for any occasion. I mean, I put happy birthday, but you could do it as a wedding card. You could do it as a get well card, anything. These papers, I have to say, are absolutely superb. If you haven't seen them in the catalogue, do check them out. They're beautiful. I'm trying to decide how I can best show you these, because they're not really designed for laying down like that. I know. What about popping an embossing buddy under it? That's better for that one. Okay, where's my other embossing buddy? That's better. Okay, then we've just got this one. I will put photographs of all three on my blog on the 10th of June, I think it will be. If you have any questions, please leave them in the box below the video. Also in the box below the video will be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop in case you want to purchase any of the products here, except the red sticky strip. We don't sell that, I'm afraid, but it is easily available, widely available. And in the box I will also put the measurements and the products and the product codes of everything that I've used. If you've enjoyed my video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button. And finally, please remember that for the all my June 2018 online customers, I am running a prize draw, which will be to win a complete set of the Stampin' blends as were on offer in our spring catalogue. It's the last set that I have, so after this, no more. You have to wait for the new ones to come through. So if you'd like to be in with the chance of winning that set, please shop in my online store. Full details are on my blog, which is www.jambicards.com. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.